Well, howdy. And I do apologize for a black screen, but again, we've still been recuperating and regaining our strength that had seemed to go down a little bit because of that bad cold. And of course, we didn't have any, magic pills like antibiotics or anything like our roomie on the other end there, but we're coming along. Our eating habits have changed. We've got it back down to just one meal a day, basically, and plus also the way it feels and all that. We feel like, gee whiz, we're going to cut that in half real soon. Because, like for example, I ate a really dry grilled cheese sandwich and had some beans, a small amount of beans with it. And by the time I'd finished it, I thought, what in God's name is wrong with you that you would do that to yourself? Because to me, it felt like I just finished Thanksgiving dinner or something, just a little meager meal. So we are changing in that respect, and I understand that we have been going through some type of transformation, that we're being lifted higher. And of course, I say, sky, take me high, sky, make me sky, because and I pray the sky is my home, as it seems like that's where I came down from. And I don't know, I'm real happy about the fact that I've been receiving some real quality love, and I look back to my life and see that there were such good people, such good, like, for example, John Denver. And what started me on the music thing was I was going through there and going along, and lo and behold, a recommendation just completely out of the blue, it seemed like, which was a artist whom I had bought one of her albums way back in the day. Her name is, you may have heard of her, Bonnie Raitt. And the name of the song that they posted up there was You. And if you have a liking, an affinity for love and romance and that type of silliness, then I highly recommend the song. It's called You by Bonnie Raitt. And she is just one of those, in my opinion, immaculate artists, a real talent, the kind of woman that a man would fall in love with just because she expresses all the right sentiments and does so in such a way that, gosh, it seems awfully sincere, you know. Then I listened to John in his Sunshine from his greatest hits album. The one, Sunshine on My Shoulder. Yep. And I just thought, man, the world I came into and was coming up in was filled with just all these wonderful people of light and life and love, whom celebrated love. And then the other stuff, continued to happen throughout life, and the world changed, and unfortunately. But it's so funny because the amount of suggestions I've gotten after those two songs, right, is just off the charts here, man. It's just like, and yeah, I listened to Don Williams, his most famous song of all time, which is I Believe. And if you've never heard that and you like romantic tunes, again, Don Williams, I Believe. It's the, he believes in this, and he believes in that, and he believes in love, and he believes in them. And it was back then, love was celebrated. They really, really were trying. and which is so very different compared to, say, like with whenever the age of the Black Witch began, which I understand they're unhappy about their age ending. But again, if you play into the book, if you play into the song, it says exactly what it is, and it'll show you that you're wrong. Because, as in the first book, and in this book that I most recently wrote, I'm the winner and I'm the victor. It does not matter how or what goes on in between here and there. At some point, you see all that ends, and their delusion and their fantasy ends and goes away. And again, I'm made the winner and I'm lifted up, and we go on to do all that stuff, which is what's happening now. Of course, we're going into the new book, and the old guys and all their old plans and their fantasy of wanting to rule and everything, which was granted to them, and they now have to pay for. All that is ended. They're being ended from our story because, as per the book, we are made the winner. We are made the victor. And all that. And see, they really stretched it out way longer than any legal possible way to do so. So, I mean, and of course they're being exposed for all the chicanery and all the lies they've told against me and all that. Because heaven is making all the lies against me failed, and obvious, and them lying against me failed. Heaven makes all the lies and liars working against me fail and fail and fail and have no success. Their lies all fail. And heaven shows and makes obvious that these are the lies that they've been telling. And obvious. And of course, because of that, it becomes even that much more obvious as to their true nature and to the ugliness that lives within them. And that's the way that goes. But in any case, I was seeing suddenly all these songs. Now listen to the ones that they were suggesting. Of course, more Don Williams. But let's see. Oh, there's Bob Seger. Always loved that band, that's for sure. Then here's Willie Nelson singing Just Breathe. And I'm thinking, well, I pray heaven leads him along with all these others that we've liked on a righteous path so they can make it back today, someday, if possible. But not at my expense, of course, at the expense of the enemies. But just as a, nice little note. Here's Pictures of You by The Cure. Am I going to listen to it? Probably not. That album was real big for me. And I really do believe that those boys had that Disintegration album. It was a masterpiece, truly. Macy Gray, I Try. Here he is, Dwight Yoakam, 1,000 Miles from Nowhere. Juice Newton, The Sweetest Thing. Cool Change by Little River Band. Exile with Kiss You All Over. Here's Crosby, Stills and Nash with The Southern Cross. And all these, they know, are songs that are quite notable to me. If not, songs that I've loved and sung along with and sung along with and sung along with. And there's a perverse dude and there's a perverse chick, I bet. And Mandolin Rain by Bruce Hornsby in The Range. I saw Gordon Lightfoot several years ago, probably 15 or more years ago, where they'd filmed him at a concert, and he absolutely looked positively, because of the lighting, like some kind of supernatural creature. It was all like purple and yellow, and I was like, God, that didn't look right at all. Some of them not worth mentioning. Who Loves You? There's Bonnie again. But it was just like, all of a sudden there's all these songs about love and Dire Straits, one of the best bands of all time. Lots and lots of. It's amazing to me the amount of music. America, a horse with no name. Neil Diamond, Forever in Blue Jeans. Yeah. It is amazing to me all that we've had to go through. And sure enough, I will absolutely. I'm just going to tell you this stupidity where they keep trying to give credit to Satan. And it doesn't matter what Satan shows up. If it shows up looking like a chick or not, kids, it's still just the thing, the Satan. But where they're still trying to like give credit to them because of all the horrible, horrible damn things that they've done to you. It's made you, oh, shut the up, you lying piece of crap. You're shilling for the damned. I was, and I always was what I was and what I am, and that's what I am. And no, they did not form me. No, they did not cause me to be this, that, or another. You know what causes me to be what I am and what I'm going to be? Well, I already was that. The question is how are we going to show up on the stage? Now, we could have showed up as sort of like a bleeding heart liberal, right? And, you know, somebody programmed by the damned line that makes people stupid and or go from, you know, denominational to something else, you know, and real vague. But no, they haven't formed me. I will say Melanie was right in a sense, to a certain degree, that whatever it was they put me in was going to cause me to become more and more something opposite of what I had been or was, in a sense. Because I can tell you right now today, instead of being able to say Coca-Cola, it would be my favorite drink. I could possibly, depending on my mood, say Pepsi instead. Oh, God love, heaven love each and every one of you that love me sincerely. Heaven loves and helps all them that is working for me, whom is loyal to me and my victory. I would like to make one other, and I say that and I pray that in the name of all that's good and right, all in the name of the kingdom of light. I pray that in the name of the life, the truth, the way, the light, the Prince of Peace, our Father in heaven. Amen. But I kept on thinking about, you know, a lot of things today about what has happened. I mean, the kind of stories and stuff they've told back and forth about who they are and what they're doing and what they think they're doing and what they feel and this and that and so on and so forth. And there was a real consistency to the story that I've been told. And also a real consistency to the what I saw as hostilities from what was a dragon, or a baby dragon. And it just amazed me, you know, because one part of the story was they wanted to take your destiny. To take your destiny. They wanted to actually be you. Someone said the other day, a woman who seems to have always been on the side of light, another black lady, of course, because we've always had black ladies in our life that, for whatever reason, and there's always been a male, a black man, and a black woman, that's always been special in our lives, that we've always had as someone special, that we thought of as special. I'm still in a quandary as to explaining that with our relationship to the Negro Nation, or our affinity for them. They said at one point some people from the past had been sewn into the mix, and old Honest Abe might have been a part of it, so maybe that was a part of the case. But it's just amazing to me that they would actually play into that. Now, you have to be pretty much nutty and really, while you might be brilliant in all kinds of ways, really not so very aware of who and what you are and what's happening to you. If you actually are looking at anyone ever saying, I want to be them, not like them, but instead I want to take everything they have and replace them and be them instead of them getting to be them, because I want to. The person who wants to show up instead of me, them who think that somehow they were going to emulate me and that was going to work out for them. Sort of like, I guess you'd call them the anti-Tom, right? They want to show up instead of you. That's what they... It's amazing. It's just amazing because that character who plays that part, well, I mean, they don't end well. Yeah, it's a very bad thing to want. I actually heard them described the other day as wanting my spirit, the spirit that was in me, the light that was in me, my life, basically. And it put me in mind again of that time I wrote in the book, to be the most attractive, and it was in reference to such as a dating situation, right? Such as like if you want to be the most attractive at the party, okay, and what I found is because of the psychosis that they suffer from, everything's interpreted just whatever the hell they want, however, instead of keeping it all, within context. And I basically said, be a happy person to be attractive. And I guess I shouldn't have put most attractive, since psychotic tends to think that, well, if I follow things to the letter, then I'm going to be the winner, or some bullshit like that, which is insanity. Because to be the most attractive in the overall scheme of it all means you'd have to be me, because that's how I was made. Who made me that way? Or whom should I say made me that way? Again, there's something within me that is very much of innocence and light, and has been sheltered and is responsible for my having gone through too much of life in too naive. Which naivete is not stupidity, it's more innocence mixed with ignorance, which is a terrible combination. You still remain of light, and you still have good thoughts, that you have a good heart instead of, but still naivete is just what it is, and it was bad for us. This other one has to be made to understand. So I'm just saying it, stating it clearly. To be the most attractive, you'd either have to be me, which is impossible, okay, or I would have exited back into the heavens, and you could come down and wait for your light to follow you down and become you. And you would have to be carrying from above that same innocence and love. You would have to be capable of love, okay? And in other words, the light would be part of you as part of your nature. Like, it's native to you. Like, the light followed me down. David said, I'll wait till your love comes down. And that's what he was talking about, which was the light. And I'm just so very happy and grateful, again, that the light did not leave me, but instead came back and completely integrated with me and won't leave me ever again. I am most happy about that, and I say, thank you, good Lord, for all that. So, again, this is just, to end that delusion. You can't be the most attractive in the overall scheme of things, because you're not of our kind, even. If you're coming from black motivations such as covetousness, and you have such a black heart that you're willing to murder a person to take their place, it really does seem like, remember, they were trying to tell me I was Jesus himself. And I will admit that because he is the light and he is real love, and the light is integrated into me, I am light and the light is me. I can say that I am a son of heaven. Perhaps not the best or the most knowing or plugged in, but we're coming right along and it's improving. You see, it's just impossible to be the most attractive when you're motivated by so much hatred. And you have to have anger and hatred to be able to rationalize your way into coveting something that someone else has or is supposed to have. Because how else can you bring yourself to the point of believing somehow you're just in judging that person as not worthy of having what it is that they have or what it is that they're supposed to have? It means you're true evil. You've gone the path of evil, so ergo, you can never be attractive. Never. You will never be the most attractive. You will never even compare because you can't take our light, and if you try, it will have the opposite effect for you. Instead of making people think, wow, they're wonderful and I just love them and it's love and all that, they will see the opposite. They will see it's a grifter, a con artist, something dark, something that's conning, something that's lying, something that has a forked tongue probably. But they'll see it as ugly. Just the opposite. It will not bring them success. And they'll pay a heavy price for it, and it'll be to my benefit. Again, growing me, increasing the daylight here in me, increasing me and causing me to rise higher, all at their expense. Never take energy that you've come by from this and use it for anything that is at cross purposes to the day. Just a grave mistake, grave error, because that is doomed to fail. And the person doing that, pretending to have the same qualities as the day, or to be, to have that love in them, or whatever that is causing them that success, that will turn on them and have the opposite effect. They will not be successful. Unless, of course, they paid heavy taxes to us, but none of them have done that. They've worked against our purposes, and that dooms all that they've made with that energy. That's just that. That's the way that goes. Because we're not here to prosper evil in its evil or to grow the evil. We're not here to grow the darkness. That just is not going to be the way it works out. And you can call that all those things that they've done from me and my energies, at best, perhaps, alone. But only at best. Because it's more like, ye evil bastard, just the judgment is going to be against them. Heaven will bring judgment against them because, they're working at cross purposes to us. Just what it is. So again, I advise, hey, let it go. Just let it go. Quit, following the demon of hate and delusion that has seemingly led you to real annihilation. When they have you actually hating what you want to be, and you're thinking, ha ha ha, let's kill love, let's kill Cupid, but let's steal light from the light and go out and use it for evil purposes. Again, it doesn't work out. None of that works out ever for them because it's just, they're doing evil. Again, the lies told against me, heaven makes fail. Then they're lying and doing things to try and make me look dirty or to diminish my light. Heaven makes fail. and heaven brings judgment against them because they're not supposed to touch me. They're not supposed to dirty me up. They're not supposed to, unless I'm asking, hey, come visit me and bring me this, that, and another. No. Heaven keeps us clean and punishes those who try to make us dirty. It's just the way that is. All I can say, again, is to all of those who are dedicated and devoted to the day, to the good light that I am and am a part of and always have been. You know what I mean? To those of you who are working for us, we pray heaven help you in all that you are doing, because you are loyal to us and to our Lord and to what we're doing, which I'm real sure is we're coming out this year, because this is our year. It's going to be the beginning of what is, I guess, considered our era, which I don't expect that to really be huge long time. I don't know, though, because heaven guides me, but they don't give me all the details of every last part of the story. And I think it's because that's just the way it's supposed to be. It's like, yeah, you know you're going to win, and heaven's going to fight these battles and make you the winner and victor over every competitor, enemy, and foe, including our own lower animal self, if we have such a thing, which I don't believe we do. All that'll be done. But I think truly the reason why is because the journey doesn't matter. That's something that the damned say, who are trying to live life after life after life or something. It's like, oh, it's all about the journey and their healing that they cannot accomplish because they've turned their back on the light. They've done evil. They've chosen hate, and because of that, death, and probably out of fear. Never follow the dark side. The dark side of the force is seductive, yes, but no, you can't follow it because it has terrible ends. And that's just the way that is. I mean, if you ever loved, if you ever have thought in romantic terms and thought of family and home, children, and that whole story, you don't want to follow the darkness, kids. Fire is not your answer. It's not your friend. But then I'm preaching again, aren't I? I don't know why they have set these things up and how they have and been so hostile to us, knowing that, we have to do what we have to do. And we're going to be as nice about it as we possibly can. I saw a guy the other day. Hold on. Oh, heck, I forgot where I was now. But, yeah, love is not a spell. I mean, there are love spells, but you can tell when you're under a love spell if you know what to look for, because there's all these inconsistencies, these incongruities, things that just don't add up. You can't explain it. You might be saying, oh, it's because of this or that, some destined thing, or it's a spiritual blah, 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 blah. But unless it's something that's actually good and feasible and workable and everything, it's not love, it's something else. And because remember, the devil, or Satan, whoever you want to call it, loves for people to become obsessed about things, loves for them to have rivalries and think, and to look at a specific person and it's like, well, I have to do this or that regarding them to be happy. But it's always they have these goals that they're set for themselves that won't make them happy, even if they do actualize them. But worse still, they'll give you the joke mission in life, make you the joke yourself by doing things like making you hate you, and or believe like you should be in a different body or something like that. Me, I'm just mighty a brick house, or at least I was. I'm moving up, but and we're being repaired and all that. And you got to learn to accept who you are. And this thing of ego, man, I just don't even know what they mean. I've always wondered about that. Whenever they're like, you need to get rid of your ego, and I'm like, what is that? How am I because I was just an average, normal, everyday kind of guy, or at least was trying to be. Which, in other words, a real little ego, and never, thinking so large of myself or anything like that. Um, it's funny because, regardless of, even if the earth life identity falls away, the ego is still our Father in heaven, the I am, the light, the God people, that love. Which, again, if you've ever felt real love, which is light, how can you turn away from it ever again? How? Once you feel it, once you know it's real, once you know they're real, that's the end of it. What ego? I'm that. They're me. I'm going home to them. Who do I love? Yep. It's wedding every day for me. It's oh, I love my blues. I love my sky. And they love me. And I'm so very happy of it, and I'm thankful and grateful of them too. The white and the blue and the light. The light, kids, for all you witches and freaking tarot readers and all you people who know of power and intention and want. When you look at the five-pointed star, you got earth, wind, fire, and water. And what? What's the top point? What is the fifth element? Kiddies. It's light. They say it's spirit. It's light. Okay? The spirit is not an element. But I guess we could refer to the light as the element, because if you connect with them and are sincere and loving, I do believe a light will come down to you perhaps. Mine was with me at a certain age, probably after what I would guess, my first death that I didn't know about, where I got caught between two worlds, and some shady ass people were there that seemed like I knew them and that they were loving of me, and tried to get some kind of weird, strange deal going on, which of course they ruined that, and there is no contract, and they are not my family. That all changed whenever the light came down and was for me. If ever there had been any of those connections that could have been construed or interpreted as valid, or or anything like a contract or family ties or anything like that, that was all ended once the light came down to me. Once I was chosen by, for whatever reason, by that which they referred to as love that came down to me. It's part of the kingdom. I love them. I think, well, it's got to be Jesus, But if it isn't Jesus, then who could it be? Another child of heaven. It's just what it is. So, to be me, you're going to have to get heaven's approval. And you're going to have a heart that's full of good love and probably gold, like mine. And the sky is going to have to really love you, okay? And the white people would be very approving of you, because, of course, you'd be white, part of them, because you love God and you see God as the prize, and doing what you can in between here and getting there is really, all you can do, and it's all for them. As I've explained before, when you love God, the God, then you are in fact loving yourself. And when you work for the Lord, for the light, the kingdom of light and life, you're working for yourself. You're working for that place that you're going to get in heaven, a place in the Father's house, which there's no better place. And I can go on. And I probably will at some other times. We'll write it, and then we'll edit it. We're going to start on these things, and we'll learn some stuff real fast. And yeah, maybe we'll learn a little bit of the AI stuff. I don't think it's really a thing. And but yeah, we're going forward and we're going up, and we're going to keep going up. And heaven is winning the battles for me. Heaven makes me the winner and the victor over all enemies, including all traitors and usurpers and people who betray me and call them competitors and foes of all sorts and natures. Just like the book is written, we are made the winner and the victor over all that. So we'll continue winning, and I pray heaven keeps me winning and makes me rich, makes me wealthy, as I know they are doing. That's what is promised. If you look at the original, I think it's Paul Bunyan's Pilgrim's Tale with Liam Neeson as the apostle. You follow a pilgrim carrying that big load, right? And which is his sins and all that stuff. The people are always talking about trying to heal from whenever, I guess all these women on their healing journeys and stuff, blah, 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 are trying to figure out a way to heal from their demons, to be free of their demons, to be free of their hate. Because the sad thing is there's people out there that have hate in them, but they still know what love is too. That's a predicament. You need to renounce your hate. When all the healing really, truly, simply is, if you can, because of how Kid Rock was talking about it last night, if you can, you give yourself over to Jesus, you give yourself over to the good and pray to transform and to transform and to transform and be made better and better. And you progress. But anyway, in that tale, in that original 70s movie, they say straight out, and that he will make you wealthy. Once he forgives you and purchases you, he makes you wealthy in a sense, spiritually, which of course lifts you up and raises your vibration and all that good. And all you have to do after that, after it's made real, is to never forget that it's real, and to keep asking for more of that, which is then. And it's just you'll follow it. You can't help it. But again, like Kid Rock said, it's there. You can ask, you can get saved by Jesus and have a second chance until you can't. And there's people, I really am afraid, like especially these that we've been dealing with. And no, I'm not concerned, okay? I'm not. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about me worrying about them. It ain't happening, kids. You show me too much. You're too self-reliant and so very intelligent or something clever. So I'm not going to worry about people who know so much more. But there, I suppose, and I guess, and that's what polarization's been all about. There's a bunch of people who, they really, truly, consciously went the other way. And like Don Williams was saying, he don't believe in black and white and east is east and west is west, and because he don't want to. It's because I think he missed that possibly, and so he believed in magic, and he believed in love. What do you think love is? He believes in magic, he believes in love, and he believes in them. Well, what do you think love is? What do you think Christ himself, that spirit, would come across as? It's light, isn't it? And people think, well, it's this or it's that, and they want to explain it as something else. A strange magic. Oh, what right? When it's not magic, it's light. It's light. The heavens, the good God. It's that spirit. It's the real love. That's what it is. Well, I'm just meandering now, aren't I? We just had us a nice little 40-minute visit with you. I hope it was enough. And I hope that those of you who do have a proclivity towards love will do yourself a favor and renounce your anger, renounce wrath. It will not do you good to go with any understanding that them of the darkness try to give you. I talked about some of these ladies who I had been watching. They were channeling and stuff, and I wrote down their names, and I might as well have executed them. I do believe, because who went after them but the anti-Tom? I'm pretty sure. I know that in the one who was sporting a Nordic name, that the anti-Tom had been there in their life a long time before I ever saw them, portraying themselves as a friend. Someone who cares, right? At least. Anyway, God love you, heaven love you, and heaven keep you. And again, I'm still praying for all those of you who love us sincerely, and heaven does understand what that is. Okay, guys, heaven understands that when you love me and it's sincere, you mean me no harm. You are loyal to it. You are for it, for me, for my success, for my well-being, and my ascension, my victory. Because of course, you'll be included in it, obviously. So again, thank you so much for helping, and thank you for being sincere, and to all of you who are helping and are not trying to harm us in any way, shape, or form. And all these silly claims. Again, I want to also point out, when you're using the Bible in a sacrilegious way, just trying to find any story and try to apply it to your situation to justify you and your personal ambitions, that's evil. And I know that they may be changing it up and might be trying to bring in actually, the name of Christ and all that now, because the actors are actors, and they try to adapt their characters to fit whatever audience they are trying to bullshit. And I'm talking about the bad actors, not the good ones. The good ones are just good ones because they're inspiring. But these other ones who call themselves Christians, but yet focus almost solely on the Old Testament and trying to find stories from the Old Testament to justify them being exactly what they're not supposed to be. Okay? And I can tell you, ladies who are out there, those female things that are out there portraying themselves to be a, quote, God, unquote, using the book to justify their ambitions, their witchcraft, their anger, their desire to control the men in their lives. Heaven condemns all of that. None of that shall work. None of it will bring you any success. Don't try to use the Holy Bible while at the same time dishonoring the God that it's all about, dishonoring the light, dishonoring what your role is supposed to be. You're a heretic, so just don't even bother. It will fail. It will absolutely fail. You will be with no success in anything except repaying me for my losses, all that you did take. Again, such as the rope, the monies, the damage done to the treasury. I understand that that will be repaid. I don't know if it's going to be double although it should at the very least. But all the rest of it, all the best of me, is being brought back to me, and shall be. All that gold will be returned to me. Heaven is assuring that all the gold taken from me will be returned to me now, at the expense of the enemies, and from wherever it is, regardless. Yeah. Don't try to. here's the deal. Don't try to be me. Don't try to replace me. Don't try to wield any type of power against me. None whatsoever. You do not have the authority. You are not of the right kind. You are not my judge. Them who condemn me, heaven brings judgment against. Heaven condemns for me and defeats them for me and puts them down from me. So in any case, God love all you that is good and is trying. And I'm praying about you, and I'm praying that at the expense of the enemies, heaven drives wrath from you. All of them that is for me and loyal to me. That heaven drives wrath from you at the expense of the enemy, at the expense of wrath, and makes you clean of that, and frees you from demonic anything demonic, all the demons. So because you're loyal to the day, you're loyal to the light, you're laboring and working to help, and without trying to hurt us, you're loyal. So heaven will love you for me. And again, at the expense of the enemies, these things of the enemies will be driven from them that is my team, those that are loyal to us. Heaven, amen. Again, in the name of the Prince of Peace, our Father in heaven, the truth and the light and the life. Amen, amen. Guys, have a wonderful evening.